Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the JISH Learn English Podcast. I'm Shaylin. Have you ever felt something in English, but you didn't know the exact phrase to say it clearly? Maybe you felt very tired. Maybe you were stressed. Or maybe you were doing something very well and wanted to express that feeling. Today, we will learn 10 very natural English phrases that native speakers use in everyday life. These phrases help you talk about your energy, stress, feelings, and decisions in a clear and natural way. By the end of this lesson, you will understand these phrases and feel confident using them in your own conversations. Before we begin, please take a quick moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a new lesson. Now, let's listen to our first conversation.
Mark, you look very tired today. Are you okay?
Not really. I'm feeling off today. I think I might be getting a cold.
Oh no, you should go home and rest. I can tell the manager.
No, please don't make a fuss. It's just a small headache. I'll be okay.
Are you sure? You worked very late yesterday.
Yes, I did. Honestly, I'm wiped out. But I finished 5 reports this morning.
5 reports? That's impressive.
I know. Somehow I'm on a roll today. I just want to finish the last one.
Okay, but if you feel worse, you must go home.
That sounds fair.
Good. Let's leave it at that.
Deal. And thanks for checking on me.
That conversation sounded very natural, didn't it? Mark and Sarah were simply talking about their workday, but they used several phrases that native speakers use all the time. Now let's slow down and look carefully at the 5 phrases we heard. When you understand how these phrases work, you will be able to use them in your own daily conversations. The first phrase is, I'm feeling off today. We use this phrase when we do not feel completely normal. Maybe you feel a little sick, a little tired, or maybe your body just does not feel right. It is not usually something serious. It simply means your energy or mood is not the same as usual. In the conversation, Mark said this because he thought he might be getting a cold. People often use this phrase at work, at school, or with friends when they want to explain why they are quiet or not very active. For example, you might say, "Sorry if I'm a little quiet today. I'm just feeling off today." It is a very gentle and natural way to explain how you feel without saying that you are seriously sick. The second phrase is, don't make a fuss. To make a fuss means to give too much attention or worry to a small problem. Sometimes people want to help us, but they react in a very big way to something that is actually small. In the conversation, Sarah wanted to tell the manager that Mark was not feeling well, but Mark thought the problem was small, so he said, "Don't make a fuss." In other words, he was saying, please do not make this a big situation. You might use this phrase if someone is worrying too much about you. For example, "It's only a small cut on my finger. Don't make a fuss. I'm fine." This phrase helps keep the situation calm and simple. Next, we heard the phrase, I'm wiped out. This is a very common phrase in everyday English. When someone says they are wiped out, it means they are extremely tired. They have used almost all their energy, and they feel like they need to rest. Mark worked very late the night before, so he felt completely exhausted. Instead of always saying, I'm very tired, native speakers often use this phrase because it sounds more natural. For example, I worked all day and then studied English for 3 hours. Now I'm wiped out. You will often hear people say this at the end of a long day. Next, we heard Mark say, I'm on a roll. This has a very positive meaning. When someone is on a roll, things are going very well for them. They are succeeding again and again, and they feel productive and confident. In the conversation, Mark finished several reports very quickly, so he felt successful and motivated. When people feel this way, they often want to continue working or continue doing the activity. For example, you might say, I finished my homework, cleaned my room, and helped my brother with his project. I'm on a roll today. This phrase is often used when everything seems to be going right. The last phrase from the conversation is, let's leave it at that. We use this phrase when we want to finish a discussion or decision. It means both people agree, and there is no need to continue talking about the topic. In the conversation, Sarah agreed that Mark could stay at work, but only if he went home if he felt worse. After they agreed, she said, let's leave it at that. In other words, she meant, the decision is made. We do not need to discuss it more. You might use this phrase after solving a small disagreement or making a final plan. For example, okay, we will meet at 6 p.m. Let's leave it at that. It is a polite way to close a conversation and move on. Now that we clearly understand these phrases, let's listen to another conversation. This time, we will hear 5 more useful phrases that people use when they feel stress, pressure, or when they are making careful decisions.
Emma, the client wants us to change the entire design by tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning? That's impossible.
I know, I'm really feeling the pressure right now.
Me too. Honestly, I'm losing my mind just thinking about all this work.
Don't take it the wrong way, but maybe we should ask for more time.
You think so?
Yes, rushing this project could cause mistakes.
The client said they might cancel the project if we delay. Maybe we should just ignore the deadline?
Careful, don't push your luck.
You might be right.
I think we should play it safe and talk to the manager first.
Yes, that sounds like the smartest decision.
In this second conversation, Alex and Emma were dealing with a difficult situation at work. They had a very short deadline, and that created stress and pressure for both of them. In situations like this, native speakers often use certain phrases to talk about their feelings and to make careful decisions. Let's take a closer look at the phrases they used. The first phrase Alex used was, I'm feeling the pressure. When someone says they are feeling the pressure, it means other people expect a lot from them, and this creates stress or worry. You may feel pressure when you have a deadline, an important test, or when someone is waiting for your results. In the conversation, the client wanted the whole design finished by the next morning. That is a lot of work in a short time, so Alex said he was feeling the pressure. You can also use this phrase in many everyday situations. For example, you might say, my final exam is tomorrow, and I'm really feeling the pressure. It is a very natural way to talk about stress when you have an important responsibility. Next, Emma said, I'm losing my mind. Now, this phrase sounds dramatic, but it does not mean someone is actually going crazy. It simply means you feel extremely stressed, confused, or overwhelmed because there are too many things happening at the same time. Emma said this because the idea of finishing the entire project overnight felt impossible. People often use this phrase when they feel they have too many tasks or too many problems at once. For example, I have 3 assignments, 2 meetings, and a presentation tomorrow. I'm losing my mind. It is a very expressive way to describe a stressful moment. Next, we heard Alex say, don't take it the wrong way. This is a very useful and polite phrase in English. We use this phrase before saying something that might sound negative, critical, or disagreeable. It helps show that we are not trying to hurt the other person's feelings. Instead, we are simply sharing an honest opinion or a suggestion. In the conversation, Alex wanted to suggest asking the client for more time. That might sound like giving up on the deadline, so he first said, "Don't take it the wrong way." You might use this phrase with friends or coworkers when giving advice. For example, "Don't take it the wrong way, but I think this report needs a little more work." This phrase helps keep the conversation respectful and friendly. Then Alex warned Emma by saying, "Don't push your luck." This phrase is usually a warning. It means someone has already been in a good position or has already been lucky, but if they continue asking for more or taking bigger risks, they may create problems for themselves. In the conversation, Emma suggested ignoring the client's deadline completely. Alex thought that was risky, so he warned her not to push her luck. You might hear this phrase in everyday life when someone is asking for too much. For example, "You were allowed to leave work early today. If you ask for another favor, you might push your luck." It reminds someone to be careful and not take unnecessary risks. Finally, Alex said, "Let's play it safe." To play it safe means to choose the most careful and sensible option in a situation. When you play it safe, you try to avoid mistakes, danger, or unnecessary problems. In the conversation, Alex suggested talking to their manager before replying to the client. That was the safest and most responsible choice. People use this phrase whenever they want to be careful. For example, "It might rain later today, so I'll take an umbrella to play it safe." This phrase is very common when people are making decisions and trying to avoid risks. So, in this conversation, we saw how these phrases help people talk about stress, pressure, careful decisions, and respectful communication. Now that you understand these expressions, you will start noticing them more often in real conversations, and soon you will be able to use them naturally in your own English. Great work today! Now, let's quickly review the phrases you learned. To talk about how you feel, you can say, "I'm feeling off today." "I'm wiped out." "I'm on a roll." To manage situations with people, you can say, "Don't make a fuss. Let's leave it at that." And when dealing with stress or decisions, you can say, "I'm feeling the pressure." "I'm losing my mind." "Don't take it the wrong way." "Don't push your luck." "Let's play it safe." Now it's your turn to practice. Think about your day today. Are you on a roll today? Or are you wiped out? Maybe you are feeling the pressure at work or school. Write one sentence in the comments using one of the phrases from today's lesson. I would love to read your examples. If this lesson helped you, please like this video and subscribe to the JISH Learn English Podcast so we can keep learning together. Thank you so much for learning with me today. Keep practicing, keep speaking, and I will see you in the next episode. Goodbye.